What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Yes, we are back again for another round of the SRL APAC for Season 3. We're here for round number 9 here at the Austrian Grand Prix as we get ahead of our teammate, which I'll explain a bit later on. Championship standings right now, Ryan still leads the way over Alan Hugo. I think it's like 32 points. We're still P13 at the current moment. Force India leading Constructors' Championship over Ferrari. McLaren closing in as well. Red Bull, we're currently position 6 at the moment. But you'll probably see there on your screen that I've got another teammate this weekend with the return of, well, not really the return, but now I've got Rain HC, now my teammate for this weekend. I'm not sure it's going to be for the rest of the season or not, but we'll wait and see anyway. But you see now we're heading off now for qualifying, and going into Austria. Obviously I had a lot of success in the previous game around this circuit, so I know what it takes to get the race victory here as well. So TPR Edge and Juice Mask get out of the road there. As I'm going to say there's obviously 8 corners around Austria, so if I say it wrong and say it's 9, then I do apologise. And yeah, anyway, but you can see we ran a little bit wide coming out of the final corner. And also we invalidated this lap, the lap that we were on, and then the next lap, which we just did. So we set up 107 flat first time and then 106.1. It was mainly sort of to get a bit of sort of banker lap times, just to see what I'm really up against here. You can see we're out on the soft tyres, so I did take the harder tyre compounds into the qualifying session, again running wide at turn 2, but I mean, I've had great success around this track, running very wide coming out of turn 5 and 6 there, but I mean, in other leagues I've had great success with a few wins here, and not so much SRL. I've had decent results, and probably in other leagues as well, but again, running wide coming out of the final corner, get that lap time, and this lap time invalidated as well, so we did improve anyway to go 1 minute 5, I think it was 5.533. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we're obviously gaining a lot of time there. 1 minute 5.533. Led Conrad through obviously, and now we're back into the pit lane to change on. So I think we're going to change on to the quicker set of tyres here. Well, you see that obviously you got the harder compounds. You have the soft tyre, super soft tyre. I think 2 sets of ultra soft. So now going to go out onto the ultra soft tyres, and this is probably not really going to be my banker lap time. So you can see I'm just letting pumps of the wind go here. But in all my suddenness of getting going, I didn't really see TPR Edge until very late, and I just got out of the way. I think only just. Otherwise, it could have been one hell of a crash. So I do apologise to TPR Edge. I was not trying to block your lap one little bit. So, but again, just the invalidation is just really crueling me so far in qualifying. So we invalidate that through turn 1, and now we're on to lap 5 of this qualifying. So TPR Edge had a big crash coming up here on this sort of next back straight there, but in the end, it was, again, a bit more of sort of a banker lap time as we well and truly speed into the pit lane. So these were definitely, I was sort of tempted to try maybe start the race on ultra soft tyres, but I'm sort of thinking that maybe most of the other guys were going to start maybe on the super soft tyre, which we are going to change on to right about now as we take a little bit of fuel out. Now Conrad is actually retired from the session. I'm not sure exactly where he's done that, but currently Fens leads the way on a 1 minute 1 minute 4.0, currently leading the way on the ultra soft tyres. We still haven't set a lap time, and neither has New Zealand Ryan, as you can see, so it's pretty much down in 19th and 20th, so it's not really looking promising at the moment, but I did fuel up the car for a couple of runs there, as there's a Renault gone very wide down at turn 2 from the looks of things, so going to have sort of 2 cracks in this one on the super soft tyres. He's literally revving out the engine through turn 1. Probably was a mistake going through 3rd gear as ECR Ricardo comes out of the pit lane, which, I mean, it wasn't ideal at all, but yeah, go through a 3rd gear at turn 1, again wasn't ideal. Again running wide through at turn 2, which has sort of been a little bit of the Achilles heel so far, plus obviously the corner cutting a bit later on in the lap, as that's one of the Mercedes cars. I'm not sure it was TBR Edge or Master Berserk, one of the two anyway, but my teammates now out of qualifying. One of the Ferraris just getting out of the road there, but we're going to stay on board for this one and see whether we can actually set a lap time. Well, we actually do set a lap time that lap today, or 1 minute 7.193, which obviously puts us in P17, so not ideal as Chimcha, who's had a big spin coming out of the exit of turn 1 and nearly cleaned me up. That could have easily been my qualifying session in curtains there. Oh, coming down in curtains there, but that's pretty much ruined Chimcha's lap for that one. But sector 1, we were up by nearly about 0.2 of a second through sector 1, I should say. So we're looking pretty decent here. I mean, if we can start maybe inside the top 10 on these tyres, or even if we just miss out on the 10 and get through, miss out on the 10, I should say, and start on a fresh set, then it'll be probably even better. But again, sector times, we're 1.5 seconds up here, so we should get into the 5s. Not sure if we can get into the 4s now coming through. Final couple of corners again. This one's really going to be the Achilles heels. We ran a little bit too wide, and that is pretty much qualifying for me, done and dusted. And literally, I just pulled off to the side of the road to let every single car that was pretty much left on a flyer left on in qualifying. But I was literally furious at myself for that one. And well, if I could chuck my chair up the other end of this room that I'm currently in, I probably would have. But as Alan Hugo now goes to provisional pole with a 1 minute, can't remember if it was a 104 or 103, we'll find out a bit later on. But yeah, pretty much doing what Valtteri Bottas was doing in the real life 2018 Austrian Grand Prix. But yeah, I was literally banging the arm of my chair here, and I was literally, like I said, furious at myself that has happened, especially many a times around the final corner. So New Zealand Ryan gets pole in the end with a 1 minute 3.932 to get P1, but we are down in P19. I think this is my worst ever qualifying ever, I think, in a league race, probably in SRL especially. But we do get a lap time on the super soft tyres anyway. But anywho, my teammate Rainer's in P13, but let's see if we can salvage something from this race.
There are a lot of cars on track today. Hard braking into the first corner, hard on the brakes.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be that case. Welcome to the grid for the Austrian Grand Prix. Race strategy-wise, it looks like a one-stop. I was sort of toying with the idea about whether to start on the super soft tyres and then go to softs, or go the other way around, start on the slower soft tyre and then go onto the super softs later in the race. There is a possibility you probably would have seen a little bit earlier of rain later in the race. When that comes, or whether that comes, is a big question mark. So but anyway, decided to start on the soft tyres and just see what we could just salvage something. If we can at least get some points from this race, I'll be pretty pleased with that one, as Juice Mars is going a little bit slow there. So I was going to wait for him to go there, but in the end I decided to just give up on that one and just continue on. But you can see already a couple of guys are already disqualified from the that was Master Berserk and Isao Ricardo. They've already been disqualified. I think they were the only guys that were disqualified, as we are literally ghosting through some cars here. I think this is the Sauber. Not sure which one it is though. I think it's Conrad. But this is all very weird, I must say. Everybody just ghosting through each other. But here we go. Going to line up on the grid here in position 19. As just the final cars coming to the grid now. I think Chimchar's in his place. Juice Master's in his place now. So here we go. The sort of salvaging operation begins for this run in Austria. 5 red lights. As Juice Master's actually jumped the start there by a big time there. As we don't get the greatest of starts, but let's do it around the Red Bull ring here. But now that's TPR Edge. I think that was off to the right there. He didn't have the greatest of starts here. Juice Bars is well and truly off the road here. But we're sort of playing the the nice and easy game here, not doing anything silly. It is a long race, so 36 hot laps. Going to go up the middle here, both Conrad and Chimchar. Is nearly going to do it. Get a little bit of a warning for colliding with for Conrad, but we get the move done on, well, Conrad, and probably Chimchar originally, but now we get overtaken by Chimchar. He's going to have a look at the inside of Juice Mars. Conrad going to come back around the outside and hold it, which he sort of is. You can probably have a look here up the inside into turn, well, I'm calling turn 4. You may be calling it turn 5, but I don't care. But a little bit put off there with the battling with Chimchar and the Juice Bars as Conrad goes back up the inside here into turn 6. But now we have the inside line here. Oh, sorry, that was turn 5, but this is now into turn 7. We now get the move done as Chimchar runs a little bit wide there. We out of the final couple of corners here, but we survive a lap. We gained a spot already off the line, and up into P18. There's getting a little bit close to the rear end of Chimchar there, but probably a tip: don't ever use third gear unless you're pretty comfortable going through turn 1. So that was probably one of my many mistakes throughout this whole weekend, especially. But so playing it cautiously here. Chimchar went a little bit wide there, but we tried to get the drive out of that second turn 2 there, but just didn't have it at all. Lost the rear end, and yeah, that was pretty much it. Chimchar runs very wide coming through turn 6. It is.
Increase ERS deployment to overtake mode.
We're literally seeing what I can do here. Maybe try and get past Chimchar as quickly as possible, because obviously Conrad stuff up behind, but we run wide coming around the final corner. So that's been one of the corners has been my Achilles heel this whole weekend, literally. So Conrad has a look up the inside here in turn 1 on lap 3. That's no can do there. We just managed to hang on for now, but now we're just going to try and catch back up to Chimchar and hopefully gain a few more spots in this race. Probably will have spots later, or positions later on, as Chimchar again run wide through turn 2. Sort of are a little bit closer here. We will have the help of DRS up our sleeve, but I don't think we're really close enough here. But we break a hell of a lot deeper as we give sort of Chimchar a little bit of a nudge there. Coming through turn 3, it's now through turns 4. There's a bit of a heck of a battle group going on a bit further up the road, but looks of things is still hanging on to the rear end of Chimchar. We're trying to see if we can get this run here, which we sort of do here. Going to have a look here up the inside here, maybe see if we can put him off, go up the inside. Runs a lot wide, does Chimchar, and he's now into the grass, and now he finally sort of yields that position now, so up into P17, and it will be now P16 because Juice Mars now comes in to serve his pit lane penalty for obviously the jump start. So next up the road is Mastersburg, which is a bit of a fair way up the road. You can probably see him just in the distance. We get our first corner cut warning there. We're still obviously sitting personal best lap times at the moment. Nothing really untoward there as Ho is actually into the pits pretty early. Now, can't remember what tyres he started on, but I think he's got caught up in a little bit of drama somewhere along the line, or get front wing damage.
Gap ahead is 2.6 seconds. You're dropping back by around 0.2 each lap. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:8.7. Gap to car in front is 3.0 seconds.
I think that was originally to Mastersburg, but you see now Poms had a little bit of a drama there. There was yellow flags, but now I think it looks like Poms is going to come into the pit lane. So he must have got caught up in a little bit of drama through turn 2, which it is quite easy to do around this circuit anyway. So
4.2 seconds. The gap behind us is 2.8 seconds.
Obviously trailing my teammate Rain by quite a way, and now we're going up into P14 now. It's now Chimchar. Looks like he's gone into the pits and retired, so he's not been happy with this race car at all, so he's had enough. So anyway, continuing on and nearly losing the rear end coming out of turn 1. As I said, there's a bit of a gap up the road to Exodona, which we've got to catch, but again, soft tyres, he's got to bear with them here, because the super soft tyre runners are nearly starting to feel the tyre wear kick in, but ultra soft tyre runners will be probably nearly about now when the ultra softs are going to die off. But Rain had a little bit of a moment up that turn 4, was it? to exit of turn 3. And he was off in the gravel there, so he lost a spot to exit owner, and now he's going to lose a spot to me. So we can have a look up the inside into turn 1. We're on the title line, so it's not the greatest of exits out of there. So now we're going to go side by side here. Oh, getting a little bit close there between us two. Now up into the hairpin here. Got to leave a bit of space here to make sure we can get through here cleanly. We should get the drive, and we do. So now we're up into P13. Next up the road is Master Berserk here, up a bit further on. So now replay here with V-Fens, and that's Warden off to the right there.
Try to stay within.
There's a difference of tyre strategies here between these two, as obviously Warden got the spot on Fens, but Fens is trying to get the move back around the outside here. It's not going to be easy around turn 4. There's a little bit of contact between those two. Can Fens have a look here up the inside for turn 5? He thinks about it, but Warden goes very deep into that corner. Now the two are going to go side by side here. There's a difference. One's on Ultra Sauce, one on Super Sauce, and there's one of the Toro Rossos up the inside. I think that's actually Derry Kid that actually gets the move done. So great bit of battling there with those guys. Whether they liked it or not is another question. But
check your
another
MFD
corner cut.
for a new strategy option.
That was turn 1 on the previous lap. We're now onto lap 11 now, as New Zealand Ryan has now come into the pits. I think he was still the race leader. Got a weird race strategy change there to come in a little bit early, but we're sort of keen to keep pushing on as long as we could here, and we're sort of tempted to think about like whether, obviously the wet weather was coming later in the race, whether it was sort of an idea to see how long these soft tyres can go, whether we could take it to sort of the wet weather period and get a bit lucky. But obviously here Ryan is going to be all over me in pretty soon, so not really going to hold him up here, just going to let him go here because he's not really in my race here. He's literally way ahead of me at this stage, so now Ryan pretty much pulls away here, sort of using a little bit of his slipstream here to keep ahead of my teammate Rain behind. Now coming through, nearly going to start lap 12. Rain is actually closing in a little bit here. There's a big late brake lock up there for Ryan as we run very wide actually on the final corner. And Rain gets the spot back again. There's another car in the pit lane. Neon Trito comes in, and I think Alan Hugo's just leaving the pits now. So he's come up behind Ryan. So now that battle is going to resume again. Looks of things now, sort of slowly starting to catch back up to Rain here. Let's see what we can do here. As Rain gets that's a little bit sideways there coming out of the turn 2 there, and somehow went the right way. I don't know how we didn't make contact or didn't get front wing damage. There's a bit of a yellow flag actually going on here. There's a bit of car off the road here. It's actually Derek Kid by the looks of things. So it looks like he's had a bit of a spin here. He's on I think he's on the ultra soft tyres, so I think he'd be nearly dying at this point. And it's on lap 12, so I think he's pretty much dying on tyres, so I think he's going to come in. As you see, he's pull off to the right here. It was, well, we'll explain the pit lane in a minute, but he nearly comes straight back into the park with us. We had no choice but to take that track limits warning there, so wow, that could have been a lot awkward, I can tell you. So nearly taking me out and probably ruining my race. There comes DRC Jarrett, who's just now pitted, so he comes out in P9 and just ahead of us guys, so he's a bit behind the leading group at the moment, but he does have a bit more fresher rubber. His teammate's going to have a looky up the inside in turn 2, give him enough room here, but just have good enough drive coming out of that corner there and managing to hold on just for now. But here's a replay of it in slow-mo between myself and Derek Kidd. Now, obviously, Derek Kidd going into the pit lane, probably taking a little bit of curve, but maybe got a little bit of a sideways action there, and obviously nearly came straight into the path of me, and probably would have been a little bit close to Rain as well. So wow, that was a pretty close call there. As that looks like, who's that? Master Berserk just up the road. He's on the soft tyres, pretty much like the rest of us. Well, us guys, me and my teammate especially. So there was a bit of a word before the race to if you're going into the pits, you have to move off to the right-hand side, which of course. I'll get my words in a minute. Master Berserk's done the right thing and moved on to the right there. And I think a few other guys have done the same thing. So now Berserk comes in, Warden's in, Presby C's in, so
seconds.
moving up the order a little bit. Obviously now up into position 7 now behind Jared, and Rain's still catching us behind. Tyre wear, it's pretty okay at the moment. It's only, like I said, it's only lap 14, so you know, we're still sort of contemplating the idea whether it was worth the gamble to maybe to try to take this to the wet weather period, because it is starting to cloud up a little bit. They get another corner cut warning there, so
10 to 15 minutes.
yeah, don't ask me why. I'm not even going to get into that one. I probably should take those out in future videos. But anyway, lap 15.
Give us the best
Laggy came into the pits for his one and only stop. We get obviously the call to come into the pits, which we are definitely not doing. We are still continuing on for as long as we can to see whether this wet weather comes or not, or whether we just have to come on get onto the super soft tyres, as there was yellow flags behind there. As now catching up to Exodona. Here's more yellow flags up in front here, so I don't know what's going on there. It looks like Exodona's really struggling here on his super soft tyres, so should be pretty easy pickings there, as someone was in the pit lane. As a look at the inside there, looks like a Williams is in the pits. Might be Fens, I'm not sure, but Warden now says fast up in the race. We get a warning as well for corner cutting. Thought about moving up the inside of Exodona into turn 1, but now we're going to have a look here up the inside into turn 2. Breakers like as we dare get a bit of a brake lock up, get a little bit of a touch there. They have a little bit of a contact with my teammate as well. So now we've lost a couple of spots there because of that. So obviously, we were going to get them moved on Exodona, but now we're going to do it again. And now these guys are battling away here. Fens has obviously done his pit stop. Exodona still yet to come in, and the same can be said for obviously me and my teammate. But yellow flags behind. Looks like an orange dot there. There's somebody else. Look, maybe a greyish dot. So we're going to have to see that one maybe in a later replay there. But Rain trying to get a little bit of slipstream here from Exodona, who's now coming into the pit lane. Yes, he is. So he finally comes in for his pit stop. I thought his tyres were literally dying off. So now we're trying to chase after my teammate again. It's probably going to be a long stop. We're going to chase after Fens, because he's obviously got past us, and he's obviously done his one and only pit stop. So now, yeah, still pushing on lap, what are we on, lap 18 I think we are. So this is what it looked like on board with Fens. So had a little bit of contact there with myself and Exodona, and then Rain gave me a little bit of contact. Now whether that was desync, I'm not exactly sure. But you see 3 wide going into turn 3 there, and Fens just manages to get that done. Only just, mind you, but there was a little bit of a lag moment there with HO's pretty much lagging all over the shop here. Here comes, is that ECR Ricardo on the outside there of Laggy. I think ECR Ricardo's going to have to come in again as Laggy goes to the inside. As contact between these two, and HO is turned him round and straight into the wall, so that would explain a lot.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Yeah, so that's a bit of shame there for both HO and for Laggy especially, because that's going to, well, it's compromised both their races now. But got a bit of, like I said, you saw then, I've probably got a bit of a weather update to see how long the rain, at least the Wayne there, but hello Elmer Fudd, but get another time penalty obviously. So said 10 minutes away, Jeff said that the weather was not far away. So I was still sort of contemplating taking the gamble of staying out for as long as I could. Try to get a run here on my teammate, but just had too much superiority coming out of that corner. I lost the back end coming out of turn 2, but now starting to come under a bit of attack there now from Warden, as Rain gets a little bit locked up there through turn 3. As Warden now, we decide to let him go. There's not really much point in holding him up, and same can be said for Neon Trito, because these guys are well and truly ahead of us at the moment. Well and truly ahead of us on the racetrack especially. So now pretty much the goal here is just to keep pushing on, and still pushing on, and see where we end up. As I think Warden and Rain are still battling away here a bit further up the road. We get another corner cut warning, as you saw then. So lap 20. Tyres are probably starting to go off a little bit here, but we are setting a green sector time here at sector 1. As now Warden's got by Rain there for position, what is that, position 5, I think, and I think Neon's going to look here around the inside here for position 6. Get a little bit of a lock up there as Poms now sits fast up the race. So great work from him as now I think Ray now slots back in behind Neon. There's a little look up the inside into turn 4, but nothing really doing there as he actually runs wide through turn 5, so that's lost him all his momentum there. And now he's going to have to work pretty hard to, you can see now, actually decides to dive into the pit lane as Laggy's now sits fast up the race. But you saw there, the rear tyres were really starting to sort of die big time there, so it was sort of a little bit of a crucial moment at this point in time, whether they still stay out or still risk it. So we're still going to try and push on here and see how long we can take it here. But coming through the final couple of corners here, we get a little bit sideways and into the wall we go. So that plan has not really worked out at all here. So just going to wait here and just try to get quickly across there, and I actually had to take the 3-second time penalty. So this plan has really not worked out at all. But you see here, I probably lost myself a lot of time here when I was trying to change the repair wing damage to yes. So that probably lost me a heap of time there. So back in, we've now finally come in, I should say. We're going to put on the set of super soft tyres we were going to originally go on anyway, but now change the front wing. So now we're going to drop in behind a few positions here. There's a nice little bit of slowdown moment there. I don't know what that was for, but
we're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, now Jeff was still saying 10 to 15 minutes, so a bit of a who knows really. But come out ahead of, I think that's Juice Mars behind. Yes, it is. So HO just set the fast lap as well, you saw then. So it's now Laggy. It looks like he's come into the pit lane and just retired. He's pretty much had enough of here around Austria. So now goal here is just to push on, do some quick laps and get to the wet weather period whenever that will be. So there's another yellow flag. It's one of the Toro Rossos. It looks like well and truly wide coming out of turn 6 there. Quite easy to do around this track, trust me. Although I've never done it myself, but I think a few others may have done it, as we not getting turn 1 right at all, as you saw there. Another corner cut there as Derek Kids, I think, has had enough and retired just a bit further up the road. So we will gain another spot here. So I think that was him that possibly had to spin the previous lap. So there he is, pulled off to the left. So we now move up into P14. Next up is Poms to the win in a P13. There's quite a bit of a gap there between myself and him. As you can see, he's well and truly onto the back straight between turns 2 and 3. And more yellow flags there. I think that's one of the Mercedes. I'm not sure exactly which one it is on lap 24, but now TPR Edge and Conrad have come into the pit lane here, so I think they're doing a 2-stop. Could be wrong, but it gets us another couple of positions up into P12 as we set our personal best on lap 26. Sorry, lap 25, I should say. 106.968. But you can probably, as you get another corner cutting warning through lap 27. And it is starting to get a little bit overcast much more now, as you can see. At lap 28, running very wide through turn 1 there. So I think the grip level is starting to go away here, especially for the dry runners. So later on.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
I did originally, this is on lap 30 now, as you can probably see there's a few spots now deciding to, also that was a shocking corner coming around the final. I took way too much curve there and yeah, that cost myself big time, so another time penalty on my sleeve. Originally I was going to box that lap and take a bit of a gamble, but decided against it, decided to keep pushing on. So yeah, you can probably start to tell the wet weather starting to appear.
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
So now it's a question of whether how wet it was going to get for these last few laps, whether it was going to be wet enough to go onto Inters. As you can tell, I had it on standby just in case. So looks like one of the Williams has pulled off the road there or had a moment. Not sure which one it is. It's on lap 31. Juice Mars has now been disqualified for, I think, maybe too many corner cuts. I'm not exactly sure there, but anyway, coming through lap 32 now. It's one of the Mercs pulling out on the road. And it's actually ECR Ricardo that was the Williams that had a spin. So he's gone onto a set of ultra soft tyres, which I thought really at this late stage, I thought it was a bit of a risky gamble there. But it's put us in P11. Probably going to be a bit of a long shot to catch up to Pomps in P10. As now TPR Edge is out of the Grand Prix, just out of turn 6 by the looks of things. As we on to the final couple of laps now. I think the gap to Pomps is just ginormous. It's too much, really, to gain on him here. But to my surprise, it's the wet weather.
Well out there, keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes.
It's still light rain at the moment, but ECR Ricardo, he's got well and truly a lot of pace. He had to cover down the inside here, coming into turn 7. But look at the grip he's got here. You say a little bit cheeky here, going off the road there. Maybe gaining an advantage a little, but it wasn't really phased at that point because, yeah, I was just like so shocked to see him go past. So he's now up into P11. We drop back to P12. Still a little bit side there. Again, another corner cutting warning there, and the grip is pretty much nil and Buckley's, and I think the intermediate strategy is definitely out the window now. It's probably a bit too late for that one. But usually braking at the same point during the dry period, but in the wet it's a little bit different and run wide at turn 2, and yeah, cut the course. Obviously you had to take a track limits warning there.
You can win that place back.
And obviously once Conrad had gone past, I sort of threw it up the white flag here and thought, yeah, nah, I don't really want to do another lap around this circuit, so just decided to drive a little bit slowly here, and you see here, just pull off to the side of the road here. They're just going to let the leaders go through here, so yeah, it's a pretty terrible weekend here around Austria, so it's not really going to plan. Qualifying was shocking, and now the race has turned out to be a bit shocking. There's a little bit of drama there between the leaders. As Jared goes on to win the Grand Prix, we're going to come home in P13. I could have actually slammed it into the wall if I had the chance again, but anyway, it is what it is. But we have the replay on board. I think this is the second last lap or the last lap, one of the two. It probably is the second last lap. As you saw, Ryan had a little bit of a moment coming out of turn 1 here, and looks as if Jared has got a little bit more pace as Ryan goes very wide here at turn 2. So Jared could get the drive, not quite, but he is really heating up here for the race lead. As Alan Hugo's sort of closing in on this battle as well. So it's a three-way fight here, literally between these guys. And these guys have obviously been the pinnacle so far of this season in SRL. So Ryan really sliding now through the penultimate corner and into the final corner. So he may come under a bit of attack here.
10 minutes left.
He's going to have to cover here on the final lap here of this Grand Prix. Jared, have a look up the inside. No, he doesn't quite have enough here, but he gets a little bit sideways there, but Ryan doesn't exactly have the greatest of runs either. So Jared is going to go up the inside here and going to take the race lead on the final lap of the Grand Prix. He's going to play cautiously up into the slow hairpin at turn 2. He gets it done, actually. And now I think both the Kiwi boys are going to fight it out here for second and third. But now Jared is going to look on the track here for obviously that race victory, which obviously he did get it in the end. But the battle behind for position 2 and 3 is definitely on. As you can see on board now on Alan Hugo coming through the final corner. There's a little bit of contact there between the Kiwi boys. It's not ended well for New Zealand Ryan. He's pushed him off as Alan Hugo, and it still finishes in P2. You could probably say a little bit controversial. You can make that call, but anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, so you saw Exodona got a little bit sideways coming around the final corner. This on board with the spectator footage, which HO is not really making those inserts work at all. So he was pretty much the only guy who went for the strategy. Sorry, not the strategy, but tried to go onto the intermediate tyres. He makes the 360 loop, coming onto the front straight here, and as he crawls slowly across the finish line, he will be the last of the runners to finish the Austrian Grand Prix. There we go. And obviously, yeah, Jared wins another race here in SRL. So he's in a bit of form here, is Jared. So looking pretty good to maybe get this SRL championship, as both Alan Hugo and New Zealand Ryan. Like I said, you could, mate, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether it's a little bit controversial or maybe it was a desync moment. Who knows? But anyway, getting more XP, moving up to 30 ranking there. Doesn't really matter too much, but there's the final results. So Jarrett, Alan Hugo, Ryan, Fens in 4th, Neon 5th, Prez, BC in 6th, Warden, Exodona. Brain actually finished up in P9, so great result for him, and Poms in the top 10. Obviously finishing up in P13 there, lap down, because I was pretty furious, like I said before. Qualifying, it was an absolute shocker. But, I mean, again, 6 spots in the end to finish 13th. But, I mean, probably could have been a lot higher had I not spun out of the final corner. And had I known that I probably overheated the tyres and the tyre wear was, yeah, it was getting to the point, yeah, I probably would have done it a lot differently there. But anyway, it is what it is. But now it is the championship standings. So New Zealand Ryan has now a 27-point gap, I think I can see, over now DRC Jarrett, who moves back up into P2. Alan Hugo in P3 is another couple of points behind. They got Warden and Fans. Yeah, we're still same spot as before in P13, so we haven't really moved much, as Rain, my teammate, now is in P14. Constructors-wise, hasn't really changed much, I don't think. Force India still lead the way over Ferrari and McLaren. You got there Williams in 4th, I think Haas in 5th. Red Bull is still in P6, just ahead of Toro Rosso. Then you got the Mercedes, Sauber, and the Renault boys rounding out the constructors table. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that race, which certainly wasn't enjoyable for me. But if you did, be sure... Yeah, it's like I said, if you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. You can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more SRL APAC content on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, I'll leave links to the SRL website, the YouTube channel, and the Twitch channel. Reminder, all the races are streamed on Twitch on every Friday night at 8 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time, with both Minchy 950 and Owens 1503. But until the next time, which will be at the British Grand Prix, which I'm not really looking forward to, if I'm completely honest, but we'll wait and see. Until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.